All right, what's on the bench? I was recycling aluminum cans today. So I collect aluminum cans, and when I get 2 big bags full, I take it to the recycling dealer. And it happens to be 2 blocks away from Anchor Electronics. So every time I go recycle cans, I have to go over to Anchor Electronics and see what they got. And so I bought a few things. I've already got something like this, but I figured for the price, I couldn't go wrong. So it's a nice little mini circuits coupler, okay? And it was only $14.95, such a deal. So let's just rip it out of its bag here. It's a cute little guy. So I've done a bunch of videos on couplers, but basically you put things in here and they go out here, and then a little bit of it sneaks out over here. So it allows you to like tap off a little bit of the RF, and it couples it, right? And so this is the input output, and then this one couples up, and it couples up about 15 dBs worth, okay? That's what this specification is, why it's -15. Let's take a look at the data sheet. All right, this is this ZEDC 152B. It is a directional coupler, 0 to 1 megahertz, nice range, 50 ohms, of course. And let's see here, excellent mainline loss, 0.8 dBs. Excellent directivity, we'll measure that, 30 dB typical. Shielded case, rugged. Yeah, it's got little mounting brackets and stuff. Applications UHF, VHF, of course, 1 gigahertz. Instrumentation, that's what I like to use it for. Communication, receivers, transmission, cellular, blah, blah, blah. All right, so there's a whole bunch of numbers here, but who likes numbers? We like graphs. Graphs are really, really cool. All right, so what is the mainline loss? So here's the input and the output. Remember, that's the couple. Well, if in the input, output, how much gets lost going through, okay? And so we can take a look at that. That's what this graph is. At lower frequencies, it's losing about 0.7 dB. And at higher frequencies, it's losing about 1.1 dB. So let's set that up on the analyzer. All right, I've got my 8712C, and we're going to do a transmission measurement, all right? And let's go ahead and calibrate. We'll put in a through, because that's what we're going to be measuring. Make sure we get a nice flat line. We do a through calibration by putting in an adapter here so we can connect the 2 cables together. And you can see we got a little wobble out there, a little bit of wobble. So let's go ahead and cal. We'll do a response cal. We'll measure it. Ding, 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 ding. And now it's perfectly straight. So everything's been calibrated out. So now we'll put in our DUT, our device under test. All right. And we will stick that in here. This connects to the in, the RF comes over here, this receives it on this side, port 2, we will do output, and then to be technically accurate, we will put a 50 ohm load on the couple port. All right, so that's a good, that is a good way to do it. Can you see that? We got input, output, and we got the load on the couple port. And there we go. So let's increase the scale here. Scale per division, let's do 0.5 dB. And let's move our marker. So down here, it was saying our graph here said about 0.6, and we're 0.65. Let's see, at 200 megahertz, their graph says it's exactly 0.7. So let's go here to 200 megahertz. Yeah, 0.69, very, very close to their graph. And let's see, let's go to, let's do the graph here. Let's go to 600. We can just type it in, but it's easier to spin the knob. So up here at 600, we're at 0.77. And on this graph, we are at 0.9. All right, so this one's better than This one's better than the graph. And then at 1 gig, it's supposed to be about 1.1. So we'll go here to 1 gig. And we are at 1.16. So yeah, it is to the data sheet. So there you go. So we've reproduced one of the graphs. All right. Let's take a look at coupling. All right, let's take a look at coupling. So coupling, let's move the camera down here so you can see what I'm doing. Coupling is the amount coming out of the couple port. So we will put our load over here on the output. All right. So the RF will go through its merry way. And then we will then sniff the output, which is what this will do. All right. Okay. And we will go back, and we need to change our scale here to scale per division. Let's do 5. And you can see there, here's our minus 15. Remember, it's a 15 dB coupler, so we have minus 15. And it's not exactly flat. It's minus 15.3 there. It's minus 13.3 there. So it does have some roll off. And according to this, their graph looks very, very flat. Let's see if we can read some numbers off of their charts here. Yeah, they only have they have 14.8 on the low frequencies and 14.7 on the high frequencies. So it's kind of the same trend. This one seems to be a little bit worse than the data sheet, but basically 15. All right. So now we can take a look at directivity. Directivity is a little bit tricky. All right, so here is a diagram of a coupler. So we have input, output, and we've coupled a little bit out this way, right? But it couples from here to here. It wants to be like a one-way valve. If we try to go this direction, we shouldn't get anything out here, okay? It should isolate it going this direction. Only should couple this direction and not this direction, all right? So in order to measure that, all right, we need to change everything. Not that one, but these two. So we're going to into the out and out into the in. So we're going to put our load on the in. All right. We're going to leave our couple intact on port 2. And then we're going to bring our RF into the output side. All right. And it shouldn't couple much. All right. It should isolate the two. And that's why you isolate couplers are nice in this fashion. They're like I said, they're like a one-way valve. All right. Let's take a look. And you can see the line is way, way down here. So let's go ahead and change our scale here to 10. So at the low end, let's say here at 138 megahertz, there's 50 dB of isolation. It's 50 dB down, and then at its worst point up here at a gigahertz, let's put marker to gigahertz, it is at minus 30. So still, it's coupling minus 15 in the forward direction, but minus 30 in the reverse direction. So let's take a look at the data sheet and see if it says the same thing. And that's this dotted line here, directivity. So at the low end, we got like minus 50 at what, 100 and something megahertz, which would be about here. Yeah, so we're about here on the graph. And then at 1 gigahertz, we were getting 30. And this one shows 20. So we're up here. So our coupler kind of does this, and it's better than the data sheet. So ours is a little bit worse on the red trace, a little bit better, much better on the blue trace. So yeah, that looks very, very good. So that's directivity. All right. And then we have return loss, which is how well matched to 50 ohms is it, right? So input, output, and couple. So we need to do S11 on those 3 ports. Let's do that. All right, we'll change our measurement mode to reflection. We have a nice Smith chart going on here. But we want to do it in return loss, okay? So we will change our format to log mag. This is return loss. And I want to go ahead and calibrate because I'm not sure the last time I calibrated. It's probably fine, but it's always best to calibrate. Always best. So we'll do a cal, let's see here, cal kit, 1 port cal, and then it says, let's do an open. Measure the open, measure the short. Measure the load. SOL, short open load. Calculates the coefficients, and now we are calibrated nicely, okay? So now we're going to come in to our little device here. I'm going to add a second load. I'm going to add a second load here to the couple port. And just because it's already set this way, we'll measure the S11 of the output. Okay. And it's here at minus 22, something like that. And we'll just write it down. So like 22, out is like 22. And we'll do in. In's a little bit better. We'll call it 27, 28. And then we'll do the couple port, which I'm imagining is even better, but that's just a guess. That's just a WAS. Or a swag, I guess, maybe. Nope, it's worse. Worse. Oh well, make a liar out of me. All right, so this one's quite bad. It goes from minus 10 to minus 22. All right, so let's take a look at what we got down here. Okay, so on the input was the red line. We had 27, 28. They got about, so ours is better. Theirs dips down to about 20 to 27. And then the output is the solid line, which goes between, our output was 22. This one goes between about 24 and 16. And then the couple is the dashed line. Oh, that is the dashed line. That's the worst one. You're right. The dashed line is the worst one. So the output is, they show theirs is flat. Ours was flat too at 22. That's about right. We'll get about the same number. And then what we have on the screen now goes from about minus 22 on the low end. That's about right. And on the high end, it goes to minus 10. This one goes to about minus 12. So, yep. We have successfully measured the data sheet. So I encourage you to do that. Get a part. A lot of times you'll get them used. I don't know if this was new or used. It almost looks new, but it probably was used. And make sure that the numbers are still matching the data sheet, which this one does in flying colors. Yes, indeed, an old nautical term, huh? All right, well, this was RF object of the day, a ZEDC 15 2B, or not 2B.